What's going on, everybody? Wanted to get on here and start getting more videos out to everybody. So in these type videos, I'm going to share some consumer or client or public type info for everybody out there, so they understand if they are becoming a buyer and or going to sell their property soon. The info that I put out is going to help you learn a little bit about the real estate industry and or just learn about the real estate industry that you may not know. So I want to educate the public out there, because there's a lot of myths. Like today, we're going to go over, the common buyer myths that we hear as real estate agents when we start working with, clients. So I want to go over that today, but ultimately that's what I'm going to start sharing more of. So everybody out there, you can, jump in and watch any of these videos, and you can get a better understanding of a lot of different things that I'll be talking about when it comes to real estate. So let's talk about the common myths that us real estate agents hear from the public or clients that we have. And I just want to discuss them and explain why they're myths, right? That way, when you become a buyer in this instant, you're not going to be thinking the same thing, okay? And that way your real estate agents have to talk about it. Now, there are some real estate agents who probably believe some of this stuff, which, I guess the experience will show them different. But ultimately, I'm looking out to provide information in my professional opinion in my 11 years and selling as many houses as I have and my team has. This comes from that. So let's get started. All right. The first one is this, right? This is a common buyer myth that is out there, is you don't need to get pre-qualified with the lender before you start looking. Now, there's no rule that says this is like, in concrete. However, I would state that the majority of sellers who are putting their house on the market are hoping that agents are taking pre-qualified buyers to their listings to potentially buy. Agents are taught to really get you pre-qualified as a buyer first, because again, you don't want to mislead a seller, right? And then schedule to show their house and the buyer can't even buy it. There are agents out there who do this a lot. I mean, we've talked to agents on our team. We've talked to agents where they've showed a couple of our properties. When we follow up with them, they're like, well, we still got to get them pre-qualified. Okay, they should not even have been in the house in the first place. Agents know this, but they don't want to deal with it sometimes. This is the frustrating thing with our industries. Agents do things they know really is not what they should do. And it's not against the law, but it's just not the proper way. So that would be one, is if you're a buyer, right, and you want to buy, first thing you need to do is get pre-qualified with a lender. I always say this too. A local lender is going to be the best bet for you. Why? Because most local lenders, like Movement Mortgage for us, that's our preferred lender, Richard Lamont, right? He's going to work on a Sunday, a Saturday, at night, sometimes, if he needs to. Not that he's going to do that just all the time. So not throwing it out there, Richard. So I don't want you to think that's what I'm doing. But ultimately, you're going to be able to get answers you need basically no matter what time, okay? And when you go through the big banks, they're off at 4:30. Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sundays, you're not going to get them. So your loan takes a lot longer to process. And generally speaking, you're going through a lot of different people a part of the loan versus just a loan officer. Now, I know I'm jumping around here as far as pre-qualification, but that's part of that process. So get pre-qualified first. It helps your agent focus in on your price point and where you want to be. And that's easier than it is not knowing your budget, don't know when you can go high, don't know how low you are. It's just better that way. And you can't make an offer without being pre-qualified anyway. So you go out there, you find your house that you love. Guess what? You can't make an offer on it till you get pre-qualified. Why waste time? Get pre-qualified. Know you can buy at a certain amount, and then go see houses. You like it, put the offer in, you're ready to go and lock that house in. All right. So that's number one. Okay. Number two is you don't need money to purchase. So this happens a lot, and I don't understand the mindset here on people. It's, you don't go to Walmart and look around and say, well, I didn't think I needed to, bring money to buy what I'm going to buy, right? So there's a common myth out there, especially in military communities like we are, where, I could buy a house for free. Generally speaking, no, okay? So you can't. You're going to have some money, okay? If it's not a VA loan, which is 100% backed by VA. You don't need a down payment, but you're still going to need some money in that example as a VA loan, right? You're going to need money for the inspections that you're going to have on the property. That's the buyer's responsibility. Your appraisal, okay, that's another one. You're going to have closing costs. That's going to be the other fees that you'll need to pay at closing. Right now, closing costs can be put into an offer, to a seller. Hey, seller, we requested you ask, or you pay some amount of money for the buyer's closing costs, like a concession. And some sellers will do that. Not all, but some will do that. Okay. But you should not come into a purchase of a property and thinking that you're not going to have any money. I think that's kind of odd. Okay. Anytime you're going to purchase something as an adult, I think I've got to have some funds to do that with. So have some funds saved up. Inspection's going to cost you a couple $100 here and there, depending on how many you get and depending on the property you have. So you definitely need some money. All right. All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. If the house is on the market more than 30 days, there's something wrong with it, or I can come in $50,000 less than an offer or less than the sales price. Look, no. Okay. 2021 was 4 years ago. Okay. Those times are over where the house goes on the market and boom, you're getting multiple offers and it's flying off the shelves. 2021, 2022. It's not like that anymore. So homes are sitting longer now based on the market and have for the last probably two years, right? And it's not like it was in those years. Okay. So just get that out of your head. Even if you're a seller, it's going to take some time now, right? Now, there are houses that, yeah, you put them on the market and in 2-3 days, they are under contract. Sure. But generally speaking, the average time on market is longer right now. Depending on where you're at, what city, what county, this will vary. So if you do have questions about that, you could text or email me, right? And I can give you that information for sure, as how many days on market it's taken for homes to sell. Okay. So, but look, homes on the market longer than 30 days doesn't mean it has something wrong with it. Longer than 60 days doesn't mean, it's all about price point. Sometimes it's about neighborhood. It's just a lot that goes on there. And yes, could it be something has been wrong with it? Yeah, but generally speaking, not really. But it could be, but routinely it's not. Okay, so don't think that, and you don't want to come in as a buyer thinking you're going to be the best negotiating buyer there is, and try to, because the house has been on market 60 days, come in lowballing, meaning, and I say lowball like $20,000-$30,000 difference from what they're asking. No, in our market, everything's still selling for just almost asking price. You're just right at asking. So those things still aren't happening at all. All right. All right. Next one. This one's frustrating. Okay. Home inspections are key to a true condition of a house. This one gets me very aggravated most of the time, even me talking about it. Dealing with buyers, I always prep them. Listen, a home inspection is going to go through the house and they're gonna write down everything they can find and see. Why? Because home inspectors don't want to get sued. So they're going to make sure they try to get everything on the report, no matter how little it is, it's going to be there. And some of the things they put on there scare buyers. But what you as a buyer have got to read and understand, okay, is in the home inspection, a lot of these things, these home inspectors, really, they're not licensed in HVACs, fireplaces, roofs, right? They're licensed as a home inspector, generally understanding building specifications and specifics and permits and stuff like that. Like they know some stuff. Okay. I'm not taking it away from home inspectors. However, they're just not licensed in a specific realm of that home inspection. So most of their home inspection is going to say this, inspected HVAC, it looked like it was operational, but I would get a licensed HVAC company to further evaluate. And if you look at the reports, most of those things, that's what they say. I would recommend hiring a structural engineer for further evaluation of foundation. I would suggest a crawl space specialist evaluate the crawl space. Like they're always suggesting somebody who is further licensed or more specific license to evaluate it. So don't jump to conclusions. Oh my God, like they said this and it's what it is. No, I don't know how many times I will tell you that I've had buyers under contract. They think the house has fallen over. We go and get a further evaluation on somebody who's licensed for that specific issue, and it comes back nothing, or it comes back very minor or really not a lot of money to repair. Okay. So don't overreact to home inspections. I'm going to give you another real world life issue. So I had a home that was on the market. Okay. And it went through a couple buyers and some fell out for different reasons. Okay. But 2 buyers got home inspections, and the home inspections were about 2 weeks, maybe 3 from one another. Okay. 2 different home inspectors, right? This is what I always say too. And it's like appraisals, but 2 different home inspectors went out. First one, 140 pages. So everybody's like, holy shit, 140, but 140 pages came back. So big home inspection report. The next one went out. What do you think his was? His was like 48. Okay. Within the same home, nobody lived in it. It was vacant. So 140 to 48, give or take. I mean, listen, so that should tell you right there. Home inspection is really as the eye of the beholder. Some are going to put as much as they can. Others aren't going to put everything on it because it's what it is. It's a home. If it's not new construction, you're going to probably have some things you got to do, right? But I just want to let you guys know that as a true example of exactly what's happened. There's been home inspectors said, hey, you need a licensed electrician to come out and evaluate these outlets. They're not working. Well, the house was built before 1970. And in that house, they didn't have lights above either. Everything was activated by a light switch, including the outlets. So I lost that deal years ago because the buyer and the buyer's agent could not understand that. I went over there, took a video saying there's nothing wrong with the electrical. You have to turn the switch on, and it activates outlets. The house is an old house. No, didn't matter, right? So just understand, if a light bulb's out, like burnt out, the home inspector generally don't take it off and put a new one in to test it. They'll just say, have a electrician evaluate this light or others because they did not operate during the inspection. Isn't that crazy? But that's what it's okay. I'm not bad-mouthing home inspectors. I just want you to understand this. Okay. So remember that when you're getting home inspection. So they're all different. Just relax, read it, go over it with your real estate agent. Some real estate agents don't understand this either. They don't understand construction. They don't understand pricing on some of these. You know, they may think, oh, electrical panels. Oh my God, they have to do the whole house. Oh my God. You know, and then they're just as bad as the buyers. And a lot of times I blame the agents because the agents should be able to explain this to their clients. Like, don't overreact, relax. Let's get it evaluated from an electrician or somebody else that's further licensed specific in this arena or thing. All right. And let's go to the last one. So last but not least, if you have to sell a home, if you're living in a home and you have to sell the one you're in order to purchase another one, it's contingent on that sale. Buyers think, well, let's go look at homes first and try to get a house under contract first because I don't want to be homeless. That's what they always want to say. I don't want to put my house on the market. You listed, Dave, and you get under contract and I still haven't found my dream home. Okay. Look, if you have to sell the house you're in order to purchase the next house, that sale is the most important. Okay. You can probably track why, because that's where the money's coming and that's where your debt to income shifts, right? Okay. So that's very important, at least to get it listed. All right. Because when you do go and you find the house that you do like and you want to put an offer in on it, the listing agent and the seller are going to know if you're contingent, because your agent's got to let them know, hey, my buyer is got their own house for sale, right? Or going to be, and it's going to be a contingent sale. No seller wants to go under contract with the buyer when their house isn't at least on the market. But the best scenario would be it would be pending already, under contract. Okay. But at least get it on the market first, then get moving to look for your house. Okay. Because remember, as a seller, you're going to be driving the car, meaning you're going to get offers sent to you and you're going to determine if you accept them or not. So you're never going to have to be forced out of a house or be homeless. You're going to be able to review an offer, look at the closing date with your agent and say, listen, we need to push the closing date. They have it for 30 days. We need to push the closing date to 50 or 45 just to give us time to go under contract with a house that I like. Make sense? So you're going to control that anyways. So don't get too crazy and act like you're going to be homeless, because you're not. All right? You're not. If you have a good agent, they're going to talk you through it. They're going to tell you, look, you're in a driving seat. We can push closing dates back, however make it comfortable for you. You can even do seller possession after closing, where you become a tenant now for at least a week or so if you need. But you got to negotiate that with the other buyer. But still, it's something you can do, okay? So don't overreact to that. But all right, so look, this concludes what I wanted to go over with you guys. Hopefully this video helps you understand a lot of these things are myths. They're not really reality. If you have any questions, concerns, or if you want to ask me a question about something in real estate that you want to know, let me know. I'll definitely do a video on that, and I would love to do that. So till next time, everybody have a great week. It's nice out here in North Carolina, so I'm going to try to enjoy the weather today. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.